Hello, so I'm back with another video for a workout that I wanted to show you, and I apologize that my lipstick is so obnoxious. I apparently broke out a lot over my face because I ate something that I was allergic to, so this is me trying to distract away from that. Is it working? Alright, so let's get into it. It's kind of a longer video in terms of like the workout footage I had was lengthy, but I wanted to keep it because it kind of gives you a chance to understand like what it is that I'm doing, and I'm really excited about this video because I found Bollywood background music, like instrumental, and I'm like very pumped about it. So if it's not your thing, then like just focus on my voice and like the exercises that I'm showing you. But if you like Bollywood, then like I hope you appreciate how much better working out is when that's in the background of all the exercises. So let's go. The first exercise that I want to demonstrate is one that I do a lot on my Instagram, as in like I post about it a lot because I don't see a lot of people doing it and I adore it, and they are called Curtsy Lunges. And the reason it's called a Curtsy Lunge is it's kind of straightforward. You are basically taking your leg behind the working leg as if you're curtsying down like in front of a king or whatever. I don't know the history of the movement other than I think it's a great exercise. So I want to show that I'm doing it with a barbell, so using a weight on my back. You can do this if you don't have a barbell, if you're trying it at home. You can carry water bottles in your hands or dumbbells in your hands or a weight that way. You don't have to have it on your back. I just like it on my back because it kind of makes me stand up straight, and that's something that I need to work on. Like I'll do this a lot, like a lot of us do, instead of like keeping my shoulders back and like looking a little taller than I am, which isn't very tall. So the curtsy lunge, why should you do it? The curtsy lunge is a great way to basically stretch a lot of the tight muscles around our legs from sitting down, like our hip flexors, while also working the smaller muscles in your glutes, like the glute medius, which is on the side pretty much, and it also works the front of your leg or your quad. And this is just a different view of the exercise so that you can see how it's supposed to look in case you're unsure about the form. But basically the leg that stays put is the leg that's working, so that's where you should feel it. And if you feel any type of pain in your back or something, lower the weight, choose a different weight, and focus on making sure that your back is straight and that you're pushing with your heel. I don't know how to demonstrate. Okay, so my foot's here, so I can't reach it. The heel is the back of your foot, right? So push off of your heel so that you feel it in the appropriate muscles and so you don't hurt your knee. Because if you try and use like your toes or that part of your foot to push up, it'll unnecessarily strain a lot of the muscles and the bones in your calf and your knee, and we're trying to avoid getting injured because from what I've heard, injuries aren't fun, but I'm not like that adventurous, so I haven't gotten injured yet, which I'm very grateful for, but it also kind of shows that I'm a pretty boring individual. Like this is as exciting as it gets. So, another point for the curtsy lunge is when you're coming up, push off with your heel, but also stabilize, so use your core and keep your core really tight so that you're not like falling over. This exercise is a little harder. If you are a beginner, I'd recommend not using like a step or a box or a bench in the back to elevate your foot. I don't know why this footage isn't edited properly, I apologize. But so you can use a bench or a step, or you can just keep your foot on the ground if you're a beginner. The height in the back basically allows you to stretch your muscles more, and that's something that I really want to do because my muscles get very tight very quickly. So this is a way for me to help myself do that. This is called a Bulgarian split squat. It's not a lunge, it's technically a squat because both of your legs kind of stay there. I don't know if that, yeah, whatever. So, it's just a little tidbit of information, but I am using dumbbells in this one. I've seen people do this with a bar on their back. It's hard for me to set up that way, so I use dumbbells. And again, push with your heel. This is, again, great for the front of your leg and for your glutes a lot, but what's really cool about this exercise is that because there's so much balance involved, you really feel it in your core and your abs if you're contracting them. So I usually am a little sore in my abs the next day after doing this exercise. I don't know if that speaks to my athletic ability at all, but it's a great part about doing this exercise, and I really love it. I think more people should be doing it because we tend to just do squats a lot of the time, which are really great, but they don't help us stretch any type of muscle. They're more of like a compound up and down movement. So I like doing a lot of this type of stuff just to make sure that I'm balanced and that no part of my leg is like bigger than the other. So I don't know if that's a concern of yours, then you can take my advice. If it's not a concern of yours, then like carry on. But again, I'm pushing with my heel when I'm coming up, and I'm placing the weights down gently. If you have to throw down the weight, like you can if you want to like be a boss in the gym, but I'm not the type to throw down weights, so I just gently place it on the ground. Yeah, and I'm usually like one of the very few girls in the gym, and I try not to get attention drawn to myself because like people just end up staring and are like, what the hell is she doing? So this is a Romanian deadlift, now that we're back on topic. A Romanian deadlift means a straighter leg deadlift. So as you can see, I'm not locking out my knees because that's dangerous, but I'm not bending a lot. And what you're supposed to try and do is use the weight, so I don't know why I wasn't looking at the camera. Use the weight to trace down your leg and up. I'm actually going a little too low in this footage, so don't use me as like a perfect example. You should go until your back is flat and then come up just to avoid injury. I was working a lot on stretching my hamstrings, so I was kind of going a little lower than maybe I would recommend to a person who's newer to this exercise. But again, pushing with your heel, I sometimes forget to use my heel with this exercise, so I have a plate at my feet and I'm keeping my toes up so that I'm like sinking down into my heel and making sure that's the only way I'm coming up. Hamstrings, which are the back of your leg. This is another exercise for those. As you can see, I'm setting up, I call it a hyperextension machine. That's how I was taught. I don't know if your gym may call it something different, like ask a trainer. But essentially, or show them this video and ask, what is this thing that she is using? But essentially, I lowered it so that my hips were the only thing supported by the padding. And I have a weight in my hand. You don't need to use a weight if you're a beginner. But this is really, really, really good for your hamstrings and glutes. I'm very upset that I haven't been doing this for longer because it's phenomenal. I don't know why I keep playing with my hair, but it's phenomenal. So the idea here is that you're stretching the muscles on the way down and then contracting them on the way up. Go slow and go very controlled with this movement. You don't need to speed through any of these exercises. You don't get a medal for finishing first. That's not how it works. Use your muscles properly and carefully. And with this, if you start to feel it in your back, drop any weight, don't use any weight, and don't come up as high. And keep your knees a little bent to try and like make it a little better. I don't know, I was like kind of breathing there for a really annoying reason, but moving on. These are walking lunges. These are a staple exercise for a lot of people. I don't do them a lot because I don't enjoy them. Like I think they're just really hard, so I don't want to do them, but I think they are very important, so I'm going to go ahead and show those. You can't really see me anymore in the footage, but the idea is don't have your knee go past your toes for this particular exercise. Push off with your heel as you're walking and keep your core really tight, because if you're new to the exercise, you may like fall over a little bit or like lose your balance. To keep that from happening, make sure like every time you breathe out, squeeze your abs as tight as possible, and I promise you it'll be worth it. It'll also help you do the movement with more ease. I used to fall a lot during the exercise, which is why I stopped doing it. That was a terrible reason. You should always do an exercise, even if it's hard, just to make sure you get better at it. These are some exercises that I've shown a lot on my Instagram as well. The reason I show them a lot is because they're very easy to do anywhere. I don't need to do this in the gym. I could theoretically do it in my room. And I think that by incorporating them more often, like at home, if like you aren't able to get to the gym or something like that, you'll just build more endurance in your muscles, which will help you work out later on. So this is a one-legged hip thrust. A hip thrust is the type of movement when you're also supported by a bench. I'm using a plate, like I'm holding a 45-pound plate on me. That I had to work up to that. Don't start with that. Start without any weight, like 5 pounds or 10 pounds. If you want, you can put a pad or a sweatshirt underneath it, the weight, so that it doesn't hurt any type of bone or organ in your body. I've been practicing for a while, so I was able to like figure it out. And again, push with your heel. I hate to say this, but like one part of our body, like for women specifically, that we're very bad at targeting is our glutes, and that's simply because a lot of the exercises we're taught use your quads more, the front of your legs more. So what'll end up happening is a lot of women will come to me and they'll say, I don't understand why the front of my legs are so big, but like my butt's really small. And this is a way to try and not reverse that, but basically fix the proportioning a bit, because this is all your glutes and your hamstrings, but mostly your glutes. So as long as you're pushing with your heel and making sure that you squeeze on top, it'll help a lot. And as you do these types of exercises more and more, you'll train your body to be able to use your glute muscles more than just your quads, which is something I had to really focus on with my exercise. As you can see, I'm holding up the weight now, and doing a hold at the end of an exercise is really great for just building that endurance, so you can do more and more and more. I'm sorry, I don't know why I find this so funny. Another exercise that I show a lot of donkey kick. There are machines for this in some gyms. I have not been a member of a gym that has a machine for this, so I just use this dumbbell version, and I really like it. It's very convenient. I can do this at home because I have like small dumbbells and stuff, so if I ever feel like doing this randomly during the day, I could. You could also hold like a water bottle or something behind your knee, or do this without a weight for more reps. I'm doing 15 on each leg, I believe, and I'm using the 20-pound dumbbell. And one thing to keep in mind is keep your arms locked, make sure that your chest is supported. This will also help kind of like build your shoulder endurance, and also kick up with your heel. I know I say that a lot, but I want you to understand that the back part of your foot is what's really going to help you target the muscles that you want to target with this exercise. So come up as much as you can. You'll probably end up being like perpendicular and then come down. I don't know why I keep making these weird hand gestures, but I think it's because I'm wearing my favorite bracelets, so I like the sound they make. Alright, moving on. The next exercise is a fire hydrant. It's because it resembles a dog at a fire hydrant. I don't enjoy the name, but it is what it is. And this works the side. So the donkey kick works exactly the back of your leg, so basically your glutes, the main muscle. This will work more of the side around it that connects to the front of your leg. It's called the glute medius and minimus, those two parts of the glutes, if you want to know the technical terms. But I really think that by doing these two together, you are able to basically tackle everything within like the same round of movements. So it's like an efficient way to go about it. You could isolate them in another way, but if you're here in this position, you might as that sounded really bad, I'm sorry. So after the fire hydrant, I move straight into glute bridges. A glute bridge is different from a hip thrust because it's from the ground. You're not using a bench or any type of support behind you. So again, I have my handy dandy plate that people keep thinking is going to crush me. I hope it doesn't. I've been enjoying doing this exercise, so I keep the plate in a way where it's not directly on top of a bone, where the edges aren't on top of any type of hip bone, so it's safe for me. But again, go from a lighter weight and work your way up. You have to just get used to it. And I'm doing the same type of thing with the hip that I was doing with the hip thrust, which is pushing with my heel and coming up that way. And at the top, I usually wait like 1 second before coming down. Like, it's not a speed exercise. This isn't a race. No one's gonna award you for like finishing first, I promise you. Like, the longer you take, the harder you're probably working because you are extending and contracting your muscles the most. So this is the last exercise of this workout. I love doing this at the end because I just think it's a really great finisher, and then afterwards I'm always kind of sore and I feel like I worked really hard. But yeah, but be safe. Choose a lighter weight. Don't go hard until you can. You're not going to turn into the Hulk. Like, relax, it'll be fine. So that's the end of this workout. Thank you so much for sticking through with me for like 15 minutes. Oh, I'm so sorry that took so long. And I just wanted to mention again, I have exciting stuff coming out, like a website. I'm just really excited for that. And a lot more information on different programs that I offer. For right now, any type of programming that I do are coaching, because I get asked this, like, am I in person, whatever it is. And I do online personal training. So in a nutshell, what that means is you sign up with me online, like we talk on the phone, we figure out like what it is that you need out of a personal trainer for diet, exercise, lifestyle, anything. So it's all inclusive, it's like a comprehensive deal. And I coach you for 12 weeks and get you to where you want to get. And I do it all while just maintaining consistent communication, giving you accountability. I program all workouts and diets like individually. Like, I don't have a template. I do everything from scratch for each person because it's the only way to like guarantee that you're getting everything that you need. And I do that based on email inquiries, so you can just email me at fitness360withalina@gmail.com. I also respond to Facebook messages on my page, which is in the description, or on Instagram, so whatever is easiest for you. Email is just the way that I'll respond to you fastest because I check it most frequently. So if you're interested in personal training with me from anywhere, it's not geographic specific, it can be from anywhere, so yeah. And that's that. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll have a few more videos coming out with a few more workouts, and let me know if there's anything specific that you do want to see. I will try my best to film it. I am a one-woman show. All of the angles, as terrible as they are all because I filmed them. So I'm very sorry, but it's the best I can do. So I'm gonna do it, and I hope I see you guys soon. Love you lots, and